Hello and welcome to DCO3O Virtual Co-op. I'm just going to show you quickly about navigating the course site. Some of this content will be delivered by your teacher, and others will just be available here, synchronous. The main goal of this course is to ensure that we're giving experiential learning opportunities to our students during this virtual opportunity. So you'll notice that as you navigate, if you go to course home, that'll bring you to this announcement page. There may be activity feeds, there may be updates that your teacher will give you. So any important information will be posted in this area, and this will be the first page that you see. You'll notice that there's a link to My Blueprint. You're going to want to familiarize yourself quickly with how to log in using your school board account to access your My Blueprint, because a lot of our content will be uploaded there, and that'll be a source of a lot of our activities, especially in the first unit. But it will be used throughout the course to track through our portfolio all of the work that we're doing throughout this course. Discussions will be ongoing weekly, so your teacher should post the discussion topic and give you further information about that. Depending on your teacher, you may have assignments being given and uploaded to GECDSB once you complete them, and others will be using D2L. So if it's in D2L, you will be using this assignments tab, and that should give you an overview of any assignments that are in there, and it'll allow you to see due dates if there are hard due dates, so on and so forth. So as your teacher releases them and makes them visible, you should see any of the activities and assignments that you need to do. So if we go to content, this is your main navigation for the course. All the course is laid out into units, some of which are, as I mentioned, delivered by teacher during synchronous lessons. Others will be available to you to access and complete asynchronously when time permits. So this course, because it's running virtually, you will have some flexibility. Your teacher will give you guidelines on pacing to give you an idea of if you're keeping track, to complete all the components and credit hours by the end of the course. In Unit 1, we will be navigating mostly in My Blueprint, okay? So all the content in there will refer to your portfolio that you're going to develop in My Blueprint. So all the activities you're doing, whether you're doing them right on My Blueprint, the activities, a lot of them are there, or you're visiting external sites, a lot of your results and documents will be uploaded to your portfolio. For those that are brand new to D2L, if you're wondering about features and logging in, there are a few additional supporting videos that our school board has put out. So you can watch those videos if this is the first time you are seeing D2L. This second link has more specific activities that you can choose. There are 11 little videos that you can go through if there are any specific items that you're looking for. But again, all the navigation will be done through the content section. So you should be able to see and track your progress right from here. But again, if you're new to D2L, I strongly suggest you look through some of those videos to make sure you're clear on how to navigate, access different things, link your Office 365 account, and so on. So the self-discovery, you will be paced out some of these activities with your teacher, as I mentioned, but others you may have the flexibility to complete asynchronously on your own pace. So if you have a week that isn't as busy, our thought is that you will, do some extra work in this DCO course. And then if you have, more busy weeks with your traditional classes, whether you're virtual or at your home school in the blended model, you will be able to, throttle back a little bit on this course. So the flexibility is there. And like I said, your teacher will give you lots of guidance in terms of pacing to make sure you're on track. But again, you're always welcome for a lot of the asynchronous content to work ahead as you pace yourself through this course. Unit 2 is going to be mostly health and safety stuff. All of these modules are asynchronous, and your teacher will tell you how you're going to submit your results or completion of these modules. Some of them have specific assessments built into the modules. Others will be just a certificate that says you are done once you've completed them, and those things can be either submitted to your teacher upon request or uploaded directly into your DCO3O portfolio on My Blueprint, which again is going to be a collection of all your learning throughout this course. So that is a lot of asynchronous, or almost all asynchronous in this Unit 2. This Unit 3, even as you're starting this course, I strongly suggest you take a look at some of these events. There's SHSM training, so there's a calendar there that gives you updated events that are going for SHSM in different sectors. So this document will change. It is a live document that we are constantly adding to in terms of opportunities. So if you take a look at some of the available sectors, as you click on the different training, it should tell you exactly which sectors these apply to. And for the purpose of this course and SHSM in general, you need to make sure you're choosing the training that is for your sector. Okay, these training sessions that you're doing as part of your DCO course will get you the credit in your SHSM, but will also have you keep track and use those hours towards your DCO course, as well as I mentioned, the certificates for your SHSM. The Unit 3B is where you'll track most of those, so I've posted the calendar there as well. And then there's a log for you to write down and keep track of any of the training that you're doing. So these are the ongoing synchronous training that are offered through the calendar. A lot of those you'll need to sign up and keep track of those dates. But as you complete those, you're going to make sure you record the information about each of those on this log, and you will be in communication with your teacher as you do them. But this is just a good way for you to track them, and your teacher will indicate if they want you to send them every time you complete a specific training session, or if you're going to submit the log every so often as you've completed those. So again, the hours that you accrue during the synchronous SHSM training will count towards your credit hours in this course. Okay, we're not giving credit to previous training that you've done, but once we start this course live on your start date or beyond, any of the certification that you do or training that you do will count. There are some asynchronous modules as well that you will complete. There will be an assessment at the end of each of those, and you will submit that to your teacher upon their request. And again, each of those will give you credit hours towards the course. So again, that's mostly for the SHSM certification. So again, you're going to get credit for your SHSM in terms of the requirements for that, but it'll also count towards your credit hours in DCO. So this Unit 3 is really about you finding some experiences in the virtual environment. There's a bunch of different activities that you're going to do where you will be given some resources, and then there'll be some where you need to find your own resources or events. For those events, we're going to try to update this virtual experiential learning calendar so that you can keep track of which events, webinars, and different experiences you can use to really familiarize yourself with your sector and get some real world experience communicating with leaders, trainers, and different people within your sector. The different subunits will have activities, and again, your teacher will either paste these for you during the synchronous classes, or if the teacher decides that they could be part of your asynchronous time, then you can find and access these as they make them visible. Okay, you can see there's a lot of content. Your individual teacher will release the content as they see fit, and communicating with your teacher frequently about your pacing is important. So if you feel like you need more content because you're getting through it quickly, you can communicate that with your teacher, and they will be flexible on giving you access to these additional modules. This career trek video is, again, some activities in there around specific careers. So there'll be specific videos for specific sectors that you can choose from. Virtual industry tours, there are some examples there for you, and then some that you're going to need to find your own from a list. There's a few other activities where we're looking at different other ways of getting experts' opinions or thoughts on a topic, and one of those would be with some TED Talks. So there's some activities there. The sector experiences where you're really going to need to find those connections and reach out to those connections to try to find those opportunities for you to really immerse yourself in your specific sector through online conferences, online communication, interviews with people within your sector, so that you can really have an experience of communicating and understanding what those sectors are doing, especially during this virtual time where the workplaces are a little bit more flexible to a virtual workday. So being able to communicate with those people virtually will make it safe for you, and it'll also allow you to get some experience and understand and have those conversations with industry leaders in your sector. There is an opportunity for job shadowing that may arise. Again, this will need to be done in very close communication with your co-op teacher, as different guidelines in terms of our school board's guidelines, as well as the health unit's guidelines surrounding COVID-19 and the pandemic, will really dictate what these job shadowing activities look like. So you need to make sure you're communicating with your teacher, and especially if you are going to find some opportunities under those guidelines to be within workplaces in person, you need to make sure you are communicating with your teacher prior to setting up any of these excursions, because the paperwork will need to be done in accordance to the Greater Essex County District School Board co-op policies, as well as any guidance we are getting from our local health unit at the time. Okay, so again, you can start thinking about and planning about these things, who you know, how you're going to contact them in terms of finding these either virtual or possibly in-person experiences. There are some reach ahead experiences, and again, this will have some crossover into your SHSM. So there is a reach ahead calendar that you can access, and you can access these links and find different opportunities. Again, really flexible in terms of what type of opportunities you're finding. If you know that you are interested in a certain school or program, you can contact those schools or visit their websites to find out what type of live synchronous tours you can do. And again, this is where if you haven't done your Reach Ahead experience for your SHSM, we can credit that as part of your requirements for the SHSM program, as well as those credit hours for this course. Okay, so again, you'll have some flexibility, and then there'll be a log for you to keep track of your experiences. And again, a lot of them will require you to have some evidence, so you need to make sure you're taking screenshots to keep track of evidence of your participation in these different events. Okay. As we finish up that Unit 3, and again, that's the biggest part of the course, the most hours are going to be there, especially in the 2-credit version. You're going to need to accrue a lot of hours there. So there'll be some guided experiences, and then there'll be some that you need to find on your own. The decision making for the future, this is kind of wraps up your learning and kind of makes you think about what your post-secondary experience will look like. And fast forward 5 years, what type of experiences are you going to have to prepare you for entry into your work sector? There is a final summer evaluation as well, so you'll have some information there as we get towards the end of the course. Okay, so if you have any questions, make sure you communicate with your teacher. I'm Mr. St. Pierre. If you want to reach out to me, you can send me a message on EDSB. So you can find Mr. St. Pierre, and you can send me a message on EDSB, or again, you can reach out to your specific co-op teacher if you have any questions or concerns. Enjoy this experience. One of the things that I have listed here is that we need to remember that this course, just like life, is a journey. It's not a destination. So as you're going through these different experiences, really, really make sure that you are immersing yourself, you're asking questions, you are trying to connect with these community partners and these people within the sector as well as you can under these circumstances. So It's really how much effort you put into this in terms of how you're going to reflect upon your learning, have those good conversations so that we can prepare you and you can prepare yourself for your future in these sectors. So again, welcome to DCO3O Virtual Edition, and enjoy your time navigating this course.